Welcome to Chandwell. My name's Michael, and for the last year, or more actually, I've been building this model of Bradford Cathedral. It's made out of paper and card, and it's N scale, and it is nearly finished. I'm putting the final details on the south aisle and the south porch. The south transept is almost finished, and then I've got the southeast porch to put on, and then the main building itself is finally finished. I thought I'd take a little bit of time just to show you around what I've been doing, because it's been a few months since I've made a video and you might not have seen it for a while. So I'll show you what I've been up to. I'm going to take a little look at this door, because this door caused me quite a few problems. You can see I've dug a big hole in the bottom of the model here. That's because when I originally put on the door, I didn't glue it in properly and I ended up putting my finger through it and it caved in. The porch was almost complete by that point, so I had to cut underneath in the foundation and try and rip it out and put a new one back in again. But in doing that, I suddenly started to look at this door and I thought, have I made it too big? That door is enormous. So I've spoken on this channel quite a lot in the past about scale and size and just how large certainly the buildings of Bradford are, and I've often questioned, have I made my own models far too big? So that theme all came back again when I was looking at this door. So let's have a quick look at this door and then we'll come back and see what else has been going on. So the more I look at this door, it is absolutely enormous. I was looking at it and I was thinking, have I made that too big? It looks way too big. It looks bigger than the windows around it. It looks almost as big as the massive window in the Lantern Tower. And it's also much bigger than the main doors at the bottom of the tower. I must admit I haven't actually measured the door when I made it. I'd roughly calculated it based upon photographs and images that I could see to be about the right size, so I was a little bit making it up with guesswork. But thankfully, Maggie Myers, the Cathedral's Director of Education and Visitors, came to my rescue. She measured the whole doorway for me and took a picture of herself in front of the doorway, and look, this door is absolutely enormous. It is huge. This is a Victorian addition to the cathedral, and it is typically Victorian Bradford in size, style and stature. They certainly did things not by halves, did they, when they put these things on. So that is one massive door, and thankfully I've got it to almost within a couple of centimetres correct through my guesswork, so I'm pleased with that, and it's worked out all right in the end. If we come to the free drawing software Inkscape, we can have a look at how I did the doorway. So the doorway did look big. Obviously it's got the two steps at the bottom, so it looks bigger on the model than it might end up being. But if we take a look at how I actually ended up drawing it, so I drew the doorway in such a way that it was made out of two pieces of paper, one with a simple border, this green bit, and then the bigger part behind it, which is the individual panes. So that is how I drew it based upon my estimates. Here is a comparison of the measurements as measured by Maggie. So I made the glazing 3.244 millimeters wide, whereas Maggie measured it at 2.905, so the blue one. So I have made the glazing ever so slightly too big, or the bars between the glazing ever so slightly too small, which is okay though. The green rectangle there is as it was measured by Maggie. So I'm more or less spot on. So I am really pleased. It is one huge door. I was working off this photograph here, and obviously without somebody standing in front of it, it didn't really make it obvious just how big it was. But I'm pleased with it. I got there in the end, and I'm happy with it, and I'm really looking forward to the completion of this part of the building. So there's lots of little interesting things about the cathedral, and I've pointed them out as I've gone, but I love the fact that there's this little door up here in the south wing's roof. There isn't one on the north side, which is interesting, but I did enjoy modelling that. And you can also see that the stonework, the fancy stonework, finishes up the side of this wing here, and this wall is very plain, and this window is very plain as well, not like the other side which has got its ornate windows. That's because when they put on this extension in the 60s, they were going to put a semicircular baptistry here as well. So this was all just temporary, ready for this beautiful baptistry which was going to go around here, but they ran out of cash or something. I don't know what happened, but they didn't actually make that. So that's an interesting looking part of the building as well. So it's not just the cathedral that I've been working on. I have started to think, finally, about Station Road over on the main layout. So let's go and have a look at Station Road and see what's been going on over there. So what's this? This is number 11 Station Road. It's a mock-up of number 11 Station Road, and it is the next building from Station Road, and it's the next character to be unveiled in Chandwell. This is Mo Burger. It is Mohammed Darwish's burger joint that he opened just a few doors down from Chandwell Best Kebab, but his burgers speak for themselves and they are undoubtedly the best burgers in Chandwell. This is a test of a slightly different way of doing shop fronts, and I think it's worked really well. It's not very deep, but it's got a lot of detail inside. I'm really pleased with how that's come out, so watch out in the new year for Mo Burger. We'll be hearing a lot more about Mo and his burgers and just how good they are in the new year. So with all of that being said, I'm about to start work on my yearly highlights video, so watch out for that. It might involve Brittany Scroggins, you never know. There's not been a huge amount of highlights on the layout itself this year because I've been focusing on the cathedral, but the cathedral is nearly finished. Once we've got the porch in place, it's going to be the groundwork, and the ground is going to come right from up the top here at its highest point right down to the base level at the bottom at this point, with some steps up there, and you'll be able to see the way that the pavement goes down the front here. It's going to look really, really good. I can't wait to share it and let you see it. Okay, so until the next video then, if I don't make another one in the meantime when I'm speaking, have a fantastic Christmas if you celebrate it, and have an excellent New Year. And we will see you in the new year for the completion of the cathedral at long last, and also the beginning of Station Road. And I'm going to start making Station Road ever so slightly differently from now on. I'm going to make it so that the models can come out rather than being glued into the baseboard, and that will allow me to share my work at exhibitions and things. And it'd be really nice for you to be able to see a little piece of Chandwell in the real world. So watch out for that next year as well. And one final thing, watch out for the February issue of Railway Modeller. I've got a little article in there all about the building of Rosebeck Bridge 5 years ago. Some scale drawings in there to show how that building went together. It's one of my favourite constructions that I've ever done, simply because it doesn't look like it's card at all. So watch out for that, and I'll see you in the new year. All the best.